Special edition from the Star in Frisco is back for Week 16 of the NFL season. The Dallas Cowboys preparing to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this Sunday night at AT&T Stadium on Sunday Night Football. Alongside former Cowboys Isaiah Stanback and Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Youmans. Glad you're with us. Gentlemen, it was another win for the Cowboys this past week. 30-14, they take down the Carolina Panthers. They've now won 3 of their last 4 games. And it was another example of complementary football. You hear it all the time from Mike McCarthy. You try and find that complementary football. Isaiah, how do they continue to find that despite some of the roster challenges they've seen this year?
Continue to feed Rico. Feed Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle has been the most consistent piece for them here lately. Continue to find a way to have a consistent running game and alleviate some of the pressure on Cooper Rush to be your playmaker offensively.
I agree with you 100%, Isaiah. But, you know, when your offense start out right and they get the ball on the 20 and they push it out to the 50, it lets the special teams kick it deep into the 20. That makes you have to go 80 yards for the defense, and that's where that complementary football starts up totally with your offense.
Exactly the case, and you start with that ground game. Rico Dowdle, a third straight 100-yard game. You both bring up the offense. There were times where the offense sputtered in this game. The defense did their job forcing a couple takeaways and then some sacks as well. They finished with 6 sacks on the day. What's been most successful for Rico in this run game recently?
I think the offensive line. I mean, there's been some changes up front, and some of those guys are being Brahma Bulls up there, and you have to love every aspect about that. Those guys are moving people off the line of scrimmage. Rico Dowdle's been a consistent runner for you all season long. He's had over a 4-yard average, and just as of late, that average has just crept up because of the holes that are being created.
His commitment by the play caller and Mike McCarthy is the ability for the offensive line to play as one unit. And for now, Rico, I said each week, he's getting better and better as a runner. He can see the holes better. He explodes through the holes, and he stays with the play now. He's a consistent runner.
Well, and this offensive line has gone through some shuffling as well. No Zach Martin. Of course, Tyler Guyton's been in and out of the fold. Brock Hoffman stepped up in a big way, along with T.J. Bass as the reserves up front for the Cowboys. Brock said earlier in the week, a lot of that success goes back to the mindset that they began the season with.
I think it's really just the work that everybody puts in. And like I've hit on, you know, every week we have that standard in our line room, 5 as 1. So no matter who's in there playing, we all play to that standard that's been set here by the guys like, you know, Zach, Frederick, Tyron for years before us.
They're trying to replicate some of the success on that offensive line. The Cowboys trying to replicate and replace Trayvon Diggs for the rest of the year. He is out for the season due to knee surgery expected over the coming weeks. That's another big blow to that defense that's continuously lost starters throughout the year.
Yeah, that position has had no luck this year in terms of health, but somebody always seemingly steps up. And what the benefit is right now, when you're low on the depth chart at the quarterback position, the good thing is you're getting a pass rush. So that makes all your defensive backs better.
The pass rush is there. All you got to do is play your technique on the back end and just hold, and just pray.
That's one way to do it. As the Cowboys take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week, they're going to have some success on the outside. Mike Evans has had another phenomenal season. Later in the show, Isaiah will go to the film room and break down what he brings to the table from an offensive standpoint, how he has continued that success in Tampa Bay. And then when we come back on the other side of the break, Stephen Jones sits down one-on-one with our Nick Eatman. More special edition right after this.
Special edition presented by AT&T is brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
Only 3 games remain in the 2024 NFL regular season, which means there's a lot of evaluation still left to be had from the Cowboys front office looking forward to 2025. Our very own Nick Eatman sits down with Cowboys Chief Operating Officer Stephen Jones to talk about those possibilities and what's next for this Cowboys team moving forward.
I think there was a play in the game, Stephen, that 8 players on offense at one time were undrafted.
Yeah.
eight players. Obviously.
I wasn't aware of that statistic, but that
Yeah.
just shows you the next man up.
Yep.
And, when you have to go deep, into your depth chart, that's where the real heavy lifting's done. The easy thing is to, pick the first part of the draft. A lot of teams have those the same way. But that's where the hard work pays off, to find the Brock Hoffmans of the world, to find a Turpin, to find, those type of players that make a difference. That's where your scouting department pays off. And, it's certainly great that these guys are getting valuable experience. It's great to see Amaris step up, to have another young linebacker coming that's making plays out there. Nealon, he's getting back in the groove. Just sat in a personnel meeting where he's doing really well, and his is back up coming off that injury. So, we feel really good about, the young people on this football team, and, look forward to going out and playing the Buccaneers.
Let me ask you about Trayvon Diggs. He's going to have surgery. Looks like he's going to be out for the season as well. And some time after that, can you share anything with how tough that injury is and just what to expect from him moving forward?
Well, he's a competitor, and he re-injured that knee. Re-injuries, it's a different injury, so same knee. But that had been, he'd been carrying fluid on it and, coming off that injury, and that's part of what goes with coming off major knee surgery. But unfortunately, he had some cartilage damage that's going to have to be fixed now, and he'll be out for quite some time. But, I think we got some of the best training staff in the NFL, and I know they'll get with him and they'll do what it takes to get him ready as soon as possible.
Let me ask you about one more defensive star. You've got Micah Parsons. There's been a lot of speculation with him still needing a big contract out there, and just where the team stands on that, already paying Dak and C. What do you think? How do you think he is playing coming back from this injury, and just what about his future here with the team?
Well, we started playing really good defense about 4 or 5 games ago, and just so happens I think that's when Micah came back. So, he's a game wrecker. He's one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL in terms of what he does, and we're fortunate to have him. And there's always, when you have the business of the business, you have speculations about different things. Dak went through that. He can certainly advise him. CD went through that. But our goal, it always has been since day one, was to sign Dak and CD and Micah. And we're fortunate to have drafted those 3 guys, and our goal is to get them all wearing a helmet for the future.
You can catch all of Stephen Jones and Nick Eatman on DallasCowboys.com and the Cowboys YouTube channel. As we move on here in Special Edition, we got to take a look at the weapons from this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that they'll face this weekend. Baker Mayfield's been playing at a very high level, but is it enough to take down this Cowboys defense and the aforementioned Micah Parsons?
This segment was brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. This segment is brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan.
Welcome back into Special Edition. Isaiah Stanback, Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Youmans. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers enter with a 4-game winning streak. They lead the NFC South, but do they really have the respect of the NFL? Some of their weapons certainly do. Let's start with Baker Mayfield at quarterback, second year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he's taken off since then, really putting together a great season. He's one of the leaders in passing touchdowns this year, but how much do you have to respect him if you're the Dallas defense?
Well, you have to respect the fact that he's one of the greatest competitors that this league has to offer. Baker Mayfield, that's the one thing that you know and love about him. He's an absolute dog. He's not going to quit. He's never going to give up. You're going to get every ounce of his competitiveness. In terms of quarterbacking, he has taken leaps and bounds. Yeah, he's been in the system for a number of years now, and he has his weapon in Mike Evans back. So when you have a combination of that plus this running game, he's dangerous. He does a good job of working in the pocket, but he's still a gunslinger. He's still going to give you opportunities. In the last 3 or 4 games, he's been throwing multiple interceptions a game, so he's going to give you those opportunities. When they come to you, don't miss on them.
He beat Philly at home. He beat Detroit on the road. this kid can play. When he has his full complement of weapons, he can throw the ball. He had a chip on his shoulder coming up out of Oklahoma. He kind of lost it a little bit in Cleveland, and he found it in Tampa. We better be weary of this kid.
No, that's a great point. And remember, he is a Texas-born, Texas-bred player. Played at Lake Travis High School back in the down in the Austin area. So he has a little bit on the mind when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys as he goes up against them for the first time as a part of the Buccaneers. Now, the guys he's throwing the football to have some success as well, most notably Mike Evans. Boy, has he had a phenomenal season. Isaiah's going to break him down a little bit here in film room. But, Nate, when you look at Mike Evans, what does he bring to the table to help this Buccaneers offense?
End zone to end zone. It don't matter whether you start on the 10 or whether you're in the red zone. This guy can run routes. He can get open. He's a complete receiver. Never talked about it in the top 5, but if you go back and look at his stats, they're all top 5 stats.
He's an all top 5 receiver. He's going to be first ballot wide receiver whenever it comes his time. But this is usually a guy who beats you over the top. That's what he's known for. He's known for the big boy plays, known for the big touchdowns. But in this particular offense, in this time in his career, they're using him a lot underneath. A lot of zone breaking coverages, and versus a lot of zone breaking coverages. A lot of men, whenever he faces man to man, they're able to give those pre-snap reads to the quarterback, as you guys will see here in the breakdown. So he's doing a good job of just being there, right? And they're opening it up for him and not forcing him to go down the field and be that big play guy. But you better put some respect on him, because if you think that he's going to lull you to sleep and bring you up toward the line of scrimmage, he will beat you over the top.
And Nate, you mentioned that he could be a top 5 receiver. I think now you kind of put him in that fold.
Yes.
But he's one of one in terms of guys that have had a streak of 1,000-yard seasons to begin his career. 10 1,000-yard seasons. This could be number 11. All right, what about the defense, Isaiah? I know you keep your eyes on guys like Vita Vea in the middle of that defense, a fellow Washington Husky as yourself. He's continuing to have some success, but he's not the only one in that front 7.
No, they got big Vita Vea, obviously from UW, who's 350 pounds, a grown Polynesian. You don't want to put one man on him. They also have, they got a dude by the name of Yaya Diaby. You guys see him right there on your screen. They got some linebackers that are absolute dogs. Their front 7 is nasty. They run a 3-4, but it looks a lot of times like a 4-3. They like to walk multiple guys to the line of scrimmage. You usually have a 6-man front, and the big Nate dog knows how to break that. I don't.
Levante David is another guy that plays linebacker. He's number 54. And remember, when any blitz situation, they're going to bring 5. Every chance they get, they're going to bring 5, whether it's a linebacker or a corner. They bring it 5.
And another Texas product, don't forget about Logan Hall as well. Former
absolutely.
Houston edge rusher. He's had a phenomenal season for Tampa Bay as well. When we come back, Isaiah hits the film room. Let's figure out how the Cowboys can slow down Mike Evans after his 2-touchdown performance last week.
This segment was brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan.
Welcome back into Special Edition alongside the Emmy Award winner Isaiah Stanback and Kyle Youmans. The Cowboys taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We just went through a lot of the weapons that they have on both sides of the football, but it begins and ends offensively with Mike Evans. Last week, 9 receptions, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns against the Los Angeles Chargers. This deep into his career, he's had 10 1,000-yard receiving seasons. He could have another one if he hits a certain mark over these next 3 games. How do they continue to feed him this effectively?
Yeah, they just find ways to get the ball in his hands. It doesn't matter if it's zone defense, doesn't matter if it's man defense, but one of the things that they do very well is doing man declaration prior to the snap. Is it going to be man or is it going to be zone? They give Baker Mayfield that information as well as giving Mike Evans that information. Let's go ahead and take it to the film and help you guys understand exactly what I'm going to show you. Now, right here is going to be my guy from UW, Mr. Oden right here. Mr. Oden is going to go in motion. When he goes in motion, okay, Baker Mayfield is going to send him in motion. This alone right here determines whether or not it is man or zone. Does anybody bump over with him, or do they go ahead and just adjust over? Well, right off the bat, you guys see nobody follows him over. Nobody follows him. So right off the bat, they know it's zone. But one thing that I want you guys to see, all right, is when he comes in motion, right here, Mr. Shepard is going to look right at Mike Evans. And when he looks at Mike Evans, boom, he gives him that little side look, he now knows that it is zone defense. So now you know with 2 safeties back, it's going to be covered 2. Okay, these are your responsibilities. These are where these guys are going to go. This is what they can do, and we know what they can't do. Right off the back, okay? So now when the ball snaps, boom, 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 they're now going to do what I call the Phil Jackson offense, right? It's a triangle offense. There's a triangle between all the guys, and there's a guy by the name of Mike Evans who's going to be right in the middle.
Bulls? Is this the
Come on, man.
Lakers?
It's something like it. What else do you have down here? Triangle offense. There's another guy right here, K. McMillan from UW. They always find a way to get the triangle offense going, so you have to respect not only this corner route, you have to respect him pulling out your guy right here. The only guy that can get there is going to be this linebacker, and he has a ways to go to try to get to Mike Evans right here. They get the ball in his hands quick, fast, in a hurry. Boop. Now he gets some yak yardage. You better call the boys because he can run after the catch as well.
Nonverbal communication at the line of scrimmage. It's really where veterans have a leg up over their opponent in doing so, to say, hey, we've had this before. We've seen this look before. Now there's a declaration that it's going to be zone, and now they take advantage of it the way that they did. How do they continue to build on that as the season goes on?
Yeah, well, here we go again, okay? We talk about what are they going to do. They're going to try to run motion prior to the snap. When they run motion, what did we just say? On the last play, nobody bumped
went
over. Aha, so they knew it was zone. On this play, they know based off of what? Based on the fact that this man's coming in motion, this man is following him. What is it called, Kyle?
Man-to-man.
Man-to-man, okay? So now if it's man-to-man and there's how many safeties high? One safety high. I know that is going to be this guy's back. Now you're responsible for me. You're responsible for this guy right here. You're coming across in motion, so you have this guy right here. We have what we need. Who's the man that you have to be concerned about?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans right here at the top of the screen. Who's responsible for him? This man right here who is sitting outside looking inside. And if he's outside sitting inside, can he get to somebody who's already has a leverage advantage? I think not. So you guys are going to see right here, boom, right off the bat, we know that it's man-to-man. We're going to stair-step these guys, try to clear these guys out, take this guy across, try to get him over. And now Mike Evans is now going to run his route, and he's going to go off of this inside man, okay? He's running his route off of this man right here. Let's see it play out. He's going to find him. Right now, he's looking for him. Where are you at? Where is he looking? He's looking for him. I got you. We're on the same page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to run and scrub the shoulder of the man that's responsible for you while taking my guy who's right here across the field with me. So you have to come with me as well, right? I'm going to take you out the play. So now the only man that can really stop anything is going to be this cornerback who is chasing Mike Evans, or this safety who's going to have a guy running right across his face, and he has to be responsible for him. Boom, let's see it play out. Finds him. There's the rub that we just talked about. Mike Evans is going to find him and take this thing up here. This guy right here, the Shepherd, is going to take it over there, and I'm going to take this safety out the picture. What ends up happening? Whoop! Now you have Mike Evans running across the formation wide open because they understood the assignment. They understood exactly what the coverage was, and now they can go ahead and win because of it.
And, of course, that's legal as long as you're not making contact with that opponent, with that defender. Yep. That's a legal rub route that you can continue to build off of. And, of course, they're going to try and do so against the Cowboys secondary this week. Isaiah Stanback breaking it down here on Special Edition. When we come back, it's Cowboys Buccaneers Sunday Night Football. What are the keys for the Cowboys getting a win in Week 16?
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today. And to watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Special Edition, presented by AT&T, was brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
That I'm not a quitter. I always thought I really wasn't, but recently when I had to go through having to be re-humbled to actually be on a practice squad when I never had to do that before, to have to rework myself back up when I felt like I'm already been established in the league is a very humbling but beautiful experience, because you get to sit there and just start from scratch again, and very few people get that opportunity in the NFL, and I'm very thankful that I got that opportunity here.
Carl Lawson has been a key for the Dallas defense to get back on track, but will he be a key to win against Tampa Bay? What do you think, Isaiah?
Carl Lawson is a dude, but in order for Dallas to get this W this week, I need them to keep Mike Evans under 100 yards.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Do not let Bucky Irvin or Rashad White be dominant in the run game or the passing game. You have two guys you have to stop.
All right, how do you feel like this holiday matchup's going to go this week, Nate?
Oh, I'm going to get full. I'm going to get full off a Cowboy win. But yes, sir, and it's going to be by one chicken wing.
By 1 point, baby, as always. For Nate Newton, Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Youmans. Happy holidays, everyone. We'll see you next week on Special Edition.